Welcome back to the channel, fellow rock lovers. Would you like to see some beautiful, shiny West Texas agates? Well, stay tuned, because what we're going to do is take this pile of partially tumbled West Texas agates and get them shined up in the vibratory tumbler. So what's the story behind these? My wife Kendra found all of these rocks while we were out rock hounding near Alpine, Texas. We've been a couple of times now. Got several buckets full of these beautiful agate rocks. And she asked me to take some of hers and see if we could get them tumbled and polished. Now, she doesn't like hers as smooth and flawless as I like mine. This one, for example, still has lots of little pits on it and other flaws. However, look at that. That's going to be a stunner. So I said, sure, I'll go ahead and get these in the course grid for just maybe 2 weeks, which is what I did. So these are her finds from West Texas, course grit tumbled for about 2 weeks. I did not want to waste a good video opportunity. I love showing these rocks off to all of you. So I decided to go ahead and film what these look like before they get polished in the vibratory tumbler. What I'm going to do is get all of these in probably a 10-pound bowl. I'll go for about, 10 to 12 days. I use 4 different grits. Ooh, look at that one. And once I'm finished with that final 14,000 grit aluminum oxide polish, I'll bring all these back in here and show you some really beautiful rocks. Check it out, Kendra's West Texas rocks are finally polished. What do you think? I believe this is going to be one of those longer videos of mine because there are just too many really good-looking rocks in this bunch. When I was rinsing these off after the final polishing phase in the vibratory tumbler, I was letting out uncontrollable oohs and ahs. I hope I wasn't wrong. Let's take a look at some of the nicer ones. Let's begin with this big one here, this white quartzy rock. Not my favorite. I'm showing you this to point out that we did get a good polish in this batch. That is it's chalcedony, but it's right on top of the quartz. And as you can see, we've got a good reflection. If you're into geodes, I guess this is pretty cool. I'm just not into geodes. This chunk is made from some beautiful chalcedony with a little bit of color in there. You see that? A splash of sort of a burgundy color. And of course, more quartz. For all you quartz lovers out there. And I know this little guy is not too impressive on this side, but check out this side. Look at the brown in there and the blue, the banding. Oh, sure, it's small, but it's still a little stunner. I got a couple in this batch that aren't traditional agates. This one almost looks like chert, the kind of chert we'd find here in central Texas, near Austin, where we live. It's a pretty rock. Unusual, though, for that area. Now, this dude is all about the details. Check it out as I get close here. Have you ever seen so many interesting little details? Every place you look on this rock, there's something cool to see. This side appears to have that, hematite maybe. You see the metallic reflection right there? Wow. A fun rock for sure. Check out this gorgeous little sea maggot. I'm pretty sure I tumbled the other half of this one in another one of my rock tumbling videos showing Kendra's rocks, but wow, what a scene. Check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? This, no doubt, was one of her rock-off rocks. I don't know if you've seen that series. I do a whole series of videos called The Great Kendra Scott Rock-Off. I have tumbled all of my entries. She's just now letting me tumble hers, and I believe this is one of them. In fact, a lot of these rocks you'll see in this video will have a cut face. We're more than likely from that series. Here's one of those West Texas biscuits that we tumble. The outside, once you get it smooth enough, looks like this. The inside, a lot of times, will have quartz like this. You see the color in there. Look at that. What I really like, though, are the sides that look like this. You see the detail in there? Yeah, sure. As you start to tumble away that outer layer, you never know what you're going to reveal. This side is kind of plain, although I was noticing right there at the top, there's something going on. Overall, a pretty cool looking little rock. I'm sure I already tumbled the other half of this one in a different rock tumbling video. I remembered seeing this very scene right here. Or should I say the other half of this flame-like scene. Yeah, this was definitely one of her rock-off entries and probably one. Here's a great example of a rock that once you start grinding away the shell, you reveal some super cool details. Check out this side here. Look at that in there. Tiny, like veins in there. You see that? And then, of course, you got the quartz. Once again, for you quartz lovers out there, wait until you see the cut side on this one. It's nice and shiny for sure. Ooh. Is that pseudomorphic? Ooh. That's fun stuff right there. Look at that. Little tubes within tubes within tubes. I like it a lot. I think we have another half of this somewhere. You should see that later in this video. I think I remember this dark one in one of our rock-off games because when we cut it, it had that banding in there. You see all that? It's kind of faint, but you see it, right? There's quite a bit of it, actually. And I'm the judge in the rock-off series, and I'm pretty sure I gave this one to Kendra because it had so much banding, albeit low contrast banding. Still really pretty though, right? Check out this dark one here. When we turn it, ooh, look at the colors in there, the bands. How fun is that? That's some dramatic banding right there. Has the candy corn combination, right? The three different distinct areas. Not the right colors, and I don't recommend eating it. Here's another one of our agates that really improved with the cut surface. Look at that. No doubt another rock-off rock and probably another winner. Even though this one's not super shiny, I actually like it quite a bit. I haven't seen many rocks that look like this one out there in the alpine area of West Texas. Oh, that dog hair on me there. Sorry about that. I really do like that pattern, though. It's some kind of, I don't know. I'd be lying to you if I told you I knew what this rock was. It's small. I think it's the only one like it that, well, the only one like it in this batch for sure, but I haven't seen any others similar to this, so it's a rather unique West Texas rock. So check this one out. This is one of those biscuits that we cut, those agate nodules. We call them biscuits. This is the outside of it, and it was one that was used in the rock-off contest, no doubt. It's clearly cut in half. Now you're looking at it thinking, okay, good. Well, what was on the inside of this one? Was it something beautiful? Maybe banding? Oh, perhaps a quartz pocket, maybe some beautiful crystal points. Well, this is what it's like on the inside. Yuck. Now this is an example of a rock that maybe shouldn't have been cut open. It's better looking on the outside. Here's one with some really nice color in it. Look at the red in there, and that, what? Almost a yellowish color. And then when we turn it over here, you see that dark stuff on the side here. Don't know what this one is. It's really interesting looking though. So even though this one wasn't tumbled perfectly smooth, and no doubt there's stuff we cannot see because of it, when we get to the side that was a cut face, check it out. That's a beauty. Wow, look at all the detail in that. Cloudy, colorful, a little bit of banding in there. That's a beauty. And were we to continue coarse grit grinding it, we'd see a lot more of that stuff as well. Regardless, it's still a beautiful rock. Let's play a game of follow the quartz seam. We begin here, and there it goes. Looking good. Got a little banding in there. Okay, I like it. Ooh, it's getting even bigger and better. That's pretty. And finally, ooh, we have a winner. That looks like a bird or something, doesn't it? There's the beak right there, little eye. You see that? Call this bird quartz. Just about every batch of rocks I polish will have at least one that didn't take the great shine. Here's the one here in this batch. It's probably rhyolite. I'm guessing, I don't know, but that's what it looks like to me. And oh yeah, it has a shine, but not at all like the agates that we've been looking at. So this will be the dud of the batch. Now here's a big chunk of chalcedony and quartz. Looks pretty average at this point, but when we get to this side, well, we can sort of see some banding over there. I think that's pretty. What do you think? I find this one really beautiful here. Look at it up close. That is a chalcedony for sure. It's translucent. And there's lots of detail in there. Look at that. I think this is really a pretty rock. Nice color. Here's a small but fun one here, a little mossy agate. I like the shape of it right there. When we turn it over and look at the cut surface, there you go. It's moss agate time. Little bubbles in there. I find that so pretty. I think you might like this one. Not so much for this side, it's shiny. This side, well, it's maybe even better. There's some maybe dendritic stuff going on down there. You see that at the bottom? But I like this side because it looks like it has, well, are those tubes or sprays or sticks? You see that elongated stuff in there? I like that. This side's not bad either. If you're like me and you like the details within the agates, check this one out here. It has depth to it. You can look down inside and see lots going on in there. Oh, I could stare at this one for hours. So much to see. Now this looks like a small piece of agate that Kendra would have cut herself. When we're done with our rock off cutting, she'll take her rocks and cut them again, making smaller and smaller cuts just to see what's on the inside. I like this one a lot. It's sort of purplish. Can you see that? It's got a purple color. And then look at this side here. That's very nice. That color's great. We are getting towards the end now, and I have saved the best for last. This is a beautiful agate here, but what's special about this one is the color. Look at the color on the chalcedony here. You see that? Oh, that is pink, my friends. Look at that right in there. That is gorgeous stuff. Wow. Such a vibrant shade of, well, I'm calling it pink. This is one of those rocks that made me ooh and ah when I was rinsing them off. Not so much for this side, which is nice, right? It was for this side. Whoa. It's hard to hold. It's so slick and shiny. Look at those cloudy patterns in there. Well, to my eye anyway, that's gorgeous. So even if you are not oohing and ahhing at home, I still think this one's stunning. I showed you the other half of this one earlier, and I told you that the other half was coming, and here it is. Ooh, the pseudomorphic agate. Look at that stuff there and how it looks there. And then check out this side here. Wow, those little tubes, those are so cool. Wow, little concentric tubes. That's incredible. Heck, we even have banding and quartz on this side. This may be my favorite so far, but just wait. I know for sure that the other half of this one was used in a different rock tumbling video of Kendra's. How could you forget this pattern here? Look at that. That is beautiful. This was a rock off rock, and yes, she smoked me in that round because how do you beat this? That's just beautiful. Those colors, that pattern, love it. This may be my new favorite rock, but just wait. So here's just a chunk of an agate. It's, what we call a sagenitic agate. You don't see it so much here, you see it here. Oh, I just love seeing those little sprays, those eyelashes like that. I think those are super cool. Thankfully, we hung on to this and tumbled it. I don't think it looked too interesting before we tumbled it. But that's why you tumble it, to reveal these amazing details. Oh, the blue on this one. Look at that. And then check out this. Oh my goodness. That shade of blue right there is to die for. That really is amazing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shade of color there. I call that West Texas blue. You call it what you want. It's just a beautiful, beautiful shade of blue. This rock is hiding something. When you look at this side, you see what appear to be those cotton balls in there. You see that? A little botryoidal looking maybe. Some color over there. What's it hiding? More of that sagenite. Look at that. Fun stuff, right? Yeah. I so love these sagenitic agates. I cannot wait to get back out there to the Alpine area, specifically the Coconut 06 Ranch, do some more rock hounding and find some more rocks like this. We are down to our final two rocks. Did I save the very best for the last? This one has some quartz and some banding, but check out this side. Ooh, wow. Once again, I remember this rock-off contest. This was her entry, and once again, she smoked my entry. What a pretty rock. That banding is beautiful. The color, heck, it's even got some of that golden mossiness there. My new favorite, maybe? Maybe not. We're ending on another one of these sagenitic rocks. Look at that. One of her other rock videos that I, actually recently uploaded featured another rock very similar to this. It was also the last rock that I showed. And I said it was a showpiece. I believe this one is as well. Look at the sagenite in there. It's just awesome. The colors, the sprays, the scenes of nature right there. You can imagine walking through a field with wild grass growing, maybe some flowers in there. Yep. This is officially my favorite rock of the batch. So what did you think? Was I lying? Did we have some great rocks in this batch? I believe we did. Kendra picked up some amazing agates that were just stunning once they got all shined up. I had my favorite at the end. I hope you had a favorite as well. There were so many good ones. It's hard to go wrong with whatever you pick. Thank you so much for watching this video. I sure appreciate it. And please remember to check my other videos for more like this. Thanks again. Oops, I almost forgot one. I was getting ready to put these away and I forgot to show you this one here. It's very small, but look, it's actually transparent. It's probably quartz. But when I saw it, I thought, oh, I got to show them this one. See how perfectly transparent that one is? Isn't that interesting? Is it quartz? Heck, I don't know. I think it is. But as you can see, it is some clear quartz. There. Now the video's over.